Where there is smoke, there is fire. And I expect a bid for Victor Gyokeres to happen within the next few days. So, let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about that. Yes, people, then welcome back to the Arsenal Transfer Centre. I hope you are all blessed and well this morning. I am your host, Dini, and I'm going to be bringing this show to you throughout the summer, throughout January, whenever it is. This is the show that's going to keep you locked in at all times with all transfer rumours, transfer business surrounding Arsenal. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I would love that a lot. And then like the video and make sure you comment below of your thoughts and opinions on this video. We have a lot to get through today. I'm going to give it to you. Pause. I'm going to deliver this information to you as quickly and precisely as possible. Now, if you saw in the thumbnail, I said that there is an agent in London, and that agent is Jorel Hato's agent. That was reported by the Mirror of yesterday, that the agent is in London to have talks for the transfer to Arsenal of Jorel Hato from Ajax. We know that Chelsea are also interested in buying the left back. Now, we know that Arsenal have let go of Tierney. They're about to be letting go of Zinchenko. It seems like Zinchenko has a lot of suitors, and I'm going to get onto Zinchenko in this video later as well. But if there are some left backs going out, that means we have, who do we have at left back? Skelly, Calafiori, Kivior is going to be more seen as a centre back now. So we're going to need to replace that, because there is talk that Skelly may be playing in midfield, and if you put Skelly into midfield much more next season, that just leaves Calafiori as our recognised left back, if I'm correct, and if Zinchenko and Tierney have gone as well, you're gonna need to bring in another one. And someone like Jorel Hato, who is talked up as a left back, can play centre back, coming from Ajax's amazing system. This is a talent, a teenager, as very much sought after, and if we can get a deal done for him, absolutely get the deal done. Now, the fee that Arsenal will be looking at paying is around 50 million euros to Ajax, so that equates to between 45-47 million pounds altogether. Now, is this a transfer that you would like to see at Arsenal? Gunners, let me know below. I know that Chelsea are also heavily interested in the signing of Jorel Hato. And the fact that this news broke yesterday that Hato's agent was in London to have talks with Arsenal, I feel like Arsenal really want to get this deal over the line as quickly as possible. Last week, there was talk that they had offered a 6-year contract. It seems like a 5-year contract now. So let's see how this story develops with Jorel Hato to Arsenal from Ajax. I feel like this will be a great signing going into the future. He's 19 years old and it's already looked up as one of the great talents of the future. This is someone that also looked up to one of our other fullbacks in Jurrien Timber, and I think the quote goes along the lines of, he could have looked up to Virgil van Dijk, but the person he looked up to was Jurrien Timber instead. You can go and find those quotes. These are true quotes. These are not my quotes. These are his quotes. Anyway, moving on. Jorel Hato. Now, I could move on to Gyokeres. I could move on to Partey. But you know, I'm going to stay with the left backs for now. I'm going to talk about Alexander Zinchenko, because he could be on his way out of Arsenal, and apparently he has no shortage of suitors to find a club when he leaves Arsenal. Now, the club that seems heavily in for him at the moment is AC Milan. I believe in January, Borussia Dortmund were potentially eyeing a move for Alexander Zinchenko, but at the moment, it seems like AC Milan are the one in for him, and they want to replace Theo. Is it Theo? Did they pronounce it Theo or Theo? Theo Hernandez. Because Theo Hernandez is being sold, and they want to replace Zinchenko with that. Now, I did see some reports this morning that apparently he may not be on top of the list of replacements for Theo Hernandez at AC Milan, but they are still interested in, they are still talking to him at the same time. We know that Zinchenko can play in midfield as well. Now, the main sticking point between AC Milan, Arsenal and Zinchenko is his wages. The fee is not the problem. Arsenal would ask for a fee of around 20 million euros, which is around 17 million pounds, basically, to get in for an Alexander Zinchenko. But the question is, will he actually bring his wage demands down? Because he's on about 200 grand a week. AC Milan are not willing to pay those wage demands. They're not willing to pay them at all. So that's the only sticking point to see, or as the reason why this deal may not be going as fast as it should be, in my opinion. But Alexander Zinchenko to AC Milan is on the cards. Now, something big that was on the cards before I literally recorded this video, some news came up from Court Offside, and it's around Victor Gyokeres. So let me start from the beginning. Yesterday, a report came out that Victor Gyokeres spoke to the sporting director, I believe is Federico Varandas of Sporting Lisbon, Sporting CP, and last week he was said to have a conversation saying with the sporting director of his dissatisfaction that he has not been able to move to Arsenal, yet the fact that Sporting have been putting up the prices of his transfer fee, making it higher, make it harder for clubs to come in and sign him, and this, that, and the other. We know that Juventus wanted to sign Gyokeres as well, and apparently had offered him a big contract worth 11 million a year. They definitely wanted him because I'm not sure what's going to be happening with Dusan Vlahovic, because apparently Dusan Vlahovic is up for sale, and if Vlahovic is up for sale, they're going to want to replace him with another striker, and Gyokeres, as we know, is a hot talent right now. Well, he's proven it in the Champions League, he's proven it in his league, he's proven it on international level, he's already proved it in the Championship when he played for Coventry and got them to the playoff final. So understandable as to why Juventus would be interested, but we're not talking about Juventus, we're talking about Arsenal. Now, as of this morning, Court Offside reported that Arsenal are preparing a second bid for Victor Gyokeres. Apparently there was already a first bid that was rejected, and now we're making a second bid for Victor Gyokeres. And you know what? I'm going to say this. Where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Where there is smoke, there is fire. We know that Sesko is playing around. We know that RB Leipzig are playing around with their wage bill. No, Sesko is playing around with his wages and his wage demands. Leipzig are playing around with the fee that they want for Sesko. So if that's what Arsenal are seeing, if that's what Berta is seeing, he will turn his attentions to that of a Victor Gyokeres. That's exactly what he's going to do. So that's why I feel like this bid that is potentially kind of coming to the Arsenal, from the Arsenal for Victor Gyokeres, where there is smoke, there is fire. And I expect a bid for Victor Gyokeres to happen within the next few days. So let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about that. That is Victor Gyokeres. That was this morning from Court Offside. Now, moving on. Last but not least, Rodrigo. Well, second to last dish. I've got a few more players to talk about. Rodrigo's price has been set at £77 million. That's 90 million euros. Right. This comes from reports coming out of Spain that Real Madrid have set their asking price. Now, we will see about that, because this is a saga that's going to continue to go on throughout the Club World Cup until the Club World Cup finishes. We're going to see if Rodrigo gets utilised more in that Club World Cup, and the more he doesn't get utilised in the position that he wants to be in, it keeps the door open for this transfer to happen. Rodrigo to Arsenal from Real Madrid, and I have genuine hope that this is going to be a thing. Now, Fabrizio Romano did claim that there's been no advancement or there have been no extra talks necessarily. But as I look at all the transfer information that's coming out, like I said already, where there is smoke, there is fire. There is continuous talk about these transfer deals happening, whether it's come from Fabrizio or Ornstein or whoever it is. Where there is smoke, there is fire. So we have to listen to this. We have to listen to this. We can see what's happening with our own eyes. Rodrigo is not playing in his right position. As a player, you will not be happy if you're not playing in the position you want to play in, the position that you've been asking for. This saga is not over. This saga isn't over. And if Arsenal are ready to act, we must act. I feel like we'll have to get in. We'll get in who we need to get in. We'll sell off who we need to sell off. If Partey's getting off the wage bill, we're going to talk about Partey briefly in a second. Getting these players off the wage bill, then getting players off our books, getting transfer money in to really have a go at Rodrigo. Because he wants to stay at Real Madrid and he wants to play on the left. We know that. But if you can offer the project to Rodrigo, offer the package that would make him see, you know what? I want to go to Arsenal. Arsenal, you need to do that. And if you want a player of this ilk, You got to bring out all the stops. You have to bring out all the stops. Now, there's a couple of bits I want to talk about. Kepa is expected at Arsenal training ground this week. He is expected at the Soba Reality Training Centre. I still like to call it London Coney now and again because that's what we grew up with. But he's expected down at the training centre this week to formally complete his transfer move to Arsenal. So that will be 2 in the door. Zubamendi will probably be announced next week. I don't see why Kepa can't be announced this week. So that is Kepa. Also, Partey, as I said, talks still haven't progressed on a deal for Thomas Partey, and his contract expires on June the 30th. That's next week, Monday. So we'll be hearing whether he's going to be signing or not very soon. Just hit the mic there. If he's signing or not very soon. Apparently, he still wants to stay at Arsenal. Arsenal don't want to budge on the wage demands. Who is going to break first? We will see. That's Partey. And obviously, if we're going to sell Thomas Partey, we're going to need to replace him. And Lucien Agome of Seville, France international, up and coming, is someone that Arsenal should be really, really looking at to replace him. And if you're going to bring in, so for example, you bring in a Zubamendi who's going to be starting. You bring in a Nordgaard as well for about 10 million. And you can bring in an Agome for about 15, 17 million. Let Zubamendi play in the 6 or Nordgaard be a replacement and allow Agome to grow. You know, allow him to grow, give him that time to grow, because I don't think he's just going to come straight in. We'll see about the midfield. 2 more things. Martinelli. Martinelli has been said to this morning as seen as a real contributor to Arsenal, as a mainstay in Arsenal's team, and I don't think Arsenal are actually going to sell him this season. If we do get a big offer in for him, we may look at it. We may absolutely look at it. But as of right now, Martinelli is staying at Arsenal because he's still seen as a key part of the first team, of the squad. I'm not mad about that. I said it yesterday on the show that if I really wanted someone to go, it's Trossard. Martinelli's the younger one. I know in terms of output, Trossard had a better season. I absolutely understand that. Trossard is better off the bench as it is already. And apparently, well, you have to remember his contract situation isn't sorted out yet either. His contract situation isn't sorted out either. So that's one to look at. And last but not least, Madueke of Chelsea. Now, I spoke about this a few days ago. We shouldn't even be talking about this, but we are. Now, apparently, Arsenal have held talks with Chelsea about the transfer of Madueke. I don't think it will be a problem between player and Arsenal to get the deal done. But Chelsea want about 50 million and Arsenal don't want to pay 50 million. I don't understand why we want to pay any money towards Madueke anyway, because it's just another Chelsea player. He can play on the right. He's a decent player. It's not like he's a terrible player, but like, we want to go levels up. Is Madueke levels up? In my opinion, I'm going to leave that to you lot to decide. I'm going to leave that to you lot to decide. So Gunners, we've spoken about a lot today. We've spoken about quite a bit. But I wanted to make sure I got all the information to you and keep you up to date with everything that's going on in the Arsenal universe as of right now. So Hato, agent, was in London to secure a deal for Hato to Arsenal. Gyokeres is trying to force a move to Arsenal with a bid incoming. Zinchenko, could he be on the move to AC Milan? Could Rodrigo be coming in to Arsenal? This transfer saga is going to go on. And there are many other things I spoke about in this video. So let me know what you think about this video in your comments below. I've been your host, Dini. This has been another Arsenal Transfer Centre, and we will be back again tomorrow morning with all the details, all the updates that you need regarding the Arsenal. If there are any breaking news, I'll release them in shorts, or I'll release them on the channel if there's any breaking news. And I would love to have some breaking news for you lot today. So if you don't want to miss that, stay locked in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. All right, people. Love and guidance. Peace.